Hey, what's up? My name is Be Nice, and today I'm going to show you how I do my layering in all of my melodic dubstep, future bass, and like tunes with big chord stacks and stuff. I've prepared a little project, like a little test project here, that I actually really like. I might actually just release this project because I love how it sounds, and I'm just going to show you how I did the chord stacks and stuff. So let's get right into it. I've prepared this thing. Of course, everything is freezed because my laptop is not that good. I'm just gonna play it real quick. Okay, that's the idea of the track. Let's just start with the chords, I guess, because that's like the most important part almost of this drop. So with the chords, I have this chord layer that's actually just an intro, but it's like not low passed. Then it's layered with this. Just the same thing but an octave higher and like differently EQ'd. That's all. And then I've got the serum layer, which is basically the entire chord layer, and it just does this. This is a chaos layer. I learned it from AO5. I'll link his video in the description. Amazing producer, amazing like tips about serum, about production, everything. I'm gonna unfreeze this real quick. It's just a 2 saw waves, no detune, but the chorus pitch is being modulated by the chaos. And like it's being set to sample and hold on really quickly, so it's creating this like gritty effect without, and like very wide, but without actually like having detune or anything. It's just like pan to the left and right. It's really good. If you want more in-depth stuff about it, just go to his channel. I'll leave a link in the description, so just check it out. It's insane. I'm gonna freeze this again. Freezing is always so slow in Ableton. Probably just because of my laptop, but I don't know. So for layering, what's for me is like really important is that every sound has to have like a unique characteristic to it. I can't have like 4 the sounds that are basically the same, because then it gets boring for me for some reason. All these layers add something different. So the crunch layer, that's this layer that you just heard, it adds top end. And the very high layer adds more, I guess, like clarity to the mix. Everything does something. Moving on. This right here is my ARP layer, I think. Very simple, just a square wave arpeggiator with what's it called? I'm automating the rate. And it's actually it, I think. Well, yeah, that's the only thing I'm automating. Did I just click? Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. Then there's a fat rack and some EQ and some soothe, because there's a lot of harsh frequencies. And then just making it wide. So this pairs really well with this one, because this is clarity and this is crunch. So they just go really well together. But the big thing about melodic dubstep and future bass and this kind of genre is the big chord sound is not about the chords. The big chord sound is more in the bass. So if we check this bass real quick. Your bass just has to be huge. If your bass is huge, then you're basically fine for the chords. I can put this bass on with the sub I have. So I'll just enable these and then just one chord layer. The chords already sound thick, but they're not really that thick. Here less because it's not a very good patch. Here even less. You don't even need chords sometimes in these type of tunes. Let's see how I made the bass. Oh, it's just a Reese. It's 2 saw waves. One is detuned, one is not, and then just through a filter. The other one is just wide, just detuned saw. My sub is from Avant dubstep racks or something. I'll leave a link in the description. It's really good. They have some really good subs. This is what it sounds like. I filtered it a bit so it's like more sub focused, and that's it. Because normally it's like very high endy and stuff. But I really like these subs. Let's see. Let's move on to the melody. Very simple patch. I think it's just saw wave with like glide and some distortion, vibrato, of course, and then I EQ the low out, reverb, delay, and that's it. It's very simple, but it works. And then I have the same thing with a harmony layer, I think. Okay, it's a bit different, but it's like, you know what I mean. And now to actually show how this all works together, I can show you this by looking at the EQs, because alright, so here you see on these 2 layers, okay, sorry for that. I EQ'd out around like 1100 or something. I EQ'd it out so I can make space, and that's very important for layering, making space for other instruments. So like these layers and also a part of the bass, I think, are very much in the 1200 region, 1200 hertz region. So if I cut them out here, because I don't really need it here, and for the bass I really need it there. Let's see if I grab an EQ with it and I go to 1200 hertz. I could leave it out, but it's just less punch. So I just leave space for those type of things, and also the same with the melody. If I group this real quick, and then I can add an EQ to it. It's not an EQ. Yeah, the melody is like just in the 12K range. I mean 1200 range. I don't know. So just make space for those, for the most important instruments, because these are just helping. These are just helping making it fat, and this is like a main component. So I would advise you to at first when you're mixing this, like in your head, imagine the most important things about this mix. Like what's important about this mix are the melody, the bass, and the chords, obviously. And then you look up the most important parts about that. So that's then the sub, this bass layer, and this chord layer. And then you EQ the ones that are not that important more. Because there's a lot out of, I cut like 8 dB out of this. So, yeah, it's fine. It works fine. Then, let's see. Yeah, for the bass. I was gonna talk about the bass. This bass is very, like, not muddy, but more like it has a lot of thickness in like the 200 range. So I think I did something for this in this chord layer. Not sure though, no, not this one. Yeah, I cut this layer. I cut it at 300, so it's just removing the low end, but also making space for the 200 thing at the base, 200 hertz bump at the base. So that's very important. And actually, it all comes down to practice. So you could be, if the layering is shit right now, it could be better in like a few weeks. So it's just all of practice. Let's listen to it without the drums, so you can get a better understanding of it. Okay, let's look at the drums real quick, because those are also very important to me, in this genre at least. Let's loop this little section. Alright, that's basically the entire drum section. This kick, almost all of my drums are from Neddie, as you can see. I'll link him in the description too. Amazing producer, insane guy. All of my drums are from Neddie. I have Neddie kick 17 and like I boosted this a bit because it sounded a bit thin or something in the mix. So I just, I don't know. Oh, it's just a bit more transient. The snare, a lot of reverb on the snare. That's just for artistic coolness, but also because it just like, it helps it in the mix more to just like, it's not like a component that's a drum, but like a component that's like a musical thing as well. Okay, let's look at the drum bus, like the entire bus. Without anything, it sounds like this. That's a big difference. The main thing that's doing the work is this punch. It's a plugin by Oversampled, and it's a clipper, limiter, and it just does its job really well. It makes this kick like really distorted kind of sounding, really clipped sounding, and I like that about it. I also have this imager, like Ozone imager, that widens it, but only like above 5k hertz. So if I just solo that, oh. Don't know if you can hear that, but it's like really wide, but it's only the top end. And then I just layered that with the original. So yeah, that's basically the entire layering process that I do. It's not very hard. It's just all about EQing and practice. You have to understand what you're EQing and why you're EQing it. I'm still not the best at it, but this is just my knowledge over the years. And yeah, I still keep improving on this genre. So yeah, I guess just practice a lot and just try figure out what works best for you. Figure out the results of like your EQing. If you're EQing something and it sounds wrong, it sounds weird, figure out why it sounds wrong, and if you're like EQing out the wrong frequencies or stuff. So yeah, I think that's it for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe like everyone always says. And I hope I'll see you again in another tutorial. I will leave this track in the description along with my socials, so you can follow me on there, and with everything I explain in this video. Right, see ya!